Did I just do that thumbs up thing? That was really cheesy. I apologize. Hey Haley, happy Thursday. I hope that you are enjoying your last day of January. So your question from this week at the end of your vlog was, so what makes me feel most at home? And in order for me to answer that, there's a little bit of a long-winded explanation. So my answer to that, in the short version anyways, is imagination. But when I think of imagination, I also think of Disney. So with that, I thought that I would try something new today, and that is to try a tag. So incorporating Disney into this answer, especially since we have 6 months and 4 days until we go to Disneyland for VidCon, I found a Disney tag that some of my favorite YouTubers did. It was about a month ago, but it seemed appropriate, so I think that I'm going to try that. A few disclaimers though, this might be a little bit lengthy, so I apologize. Second, not really a disclaimer, but I got this tag from some of my favorite YouTubers. I know Emily did it, Kaylee did it, Liam did it, Megan and Katie. I refer to them by their first names as if I'm their friends, but I will link all of their channels down below, and just for viewers, our links to Twitter and our Facebook pages and stuff are always down below, so check the links that are down there right now. So my third disclaimer is I love Disney, but I also recognize as someone who enjoys taking women's studies classes that there are quite a few feminist and social issues that are in the Disney films about the princesses and all of some of the movies in general, and although I don't advocate for those, I also appreciate Disney for all that it's done for me and helped inspire me throughout my childhood, so I hope that makes sense. So I am going to answer these questions. There are 9, and then Haley, I will get to my question for you this week, but I hope that you guys enjoy this, and I'm going to get started now. Alright guys, let's get to this Disney tag. I have a lot of Disney stuff. The first one is a scene in any Disney movie you wish you could experience. Alright, so I have a lot of ideas for this one, so I'm sorry. The first one is the library reveal in Beauty and the Beast, because books. The other one is the lantern scene in Tangled. And then as for a non-Disney movie, or not non-Disney movie, but a non-animated one with princesses, would be Lizzie's performance at the end of the Lizzie McGuire movie, and don't tell me you haven't sung along to that, because I won't believe you. Number 2, an unforgettable experience at the Disneyland parks. So the last time that I went to Disneyland and Disney World was in 2009 / 2008. Last time that I went to Disneyland was at the end of 2008, and my mom and company, we went to Disneyland during Christmas of 2008, and it was a wonderful experience since it was my last trip and last memories before I got sick, which was it was so fun. It was so fun, guys. That was actually the year in Portland when we got the huge snowstorm that shut down the airport. So we were stuck in LA for Christmas, which is a really interesting time. So spending Christmas at Disneyland was a magical experience. Oh, I'm such an idiot. The last time that I went, though, for Disney World was during spring break of 2009, and that was before my diseases had actually fully hit, and I was able to go with the varsity softball team my freshman year, and it was still magical. It was so much fun. I'm a huge Disneyland park nerd. I get really excited about it, and usually I end up crying, so Haley, I hope that you know what you're getting into when we go to Disneyland for VidCon. So number 3 is, what non-Disney song or songs remind you of Disney or the parks? And the one that I immediately thought of for this one was In Between the Lines by Tyrone Wells, so I'm just gonna go with that. Number 4 is, when was the first time that you went to a Disney park? And so I started going to Disneyland when I was really young. My great-grandparents live in Anaheim, and they live very close to Disneyland. So my first experience was when I was 6 months old, and I remember my mom telling me a story about when I went to Disneyland for the first time. There was a really interesting experience that she loves to tell when we're around people. my mom, my dad, and I went to Disneyland together, and that was the first time that I had tried a pickle before, and my mom said that I turned like bright red because my dad had given it to me because we love like sour stuff, and it's something that I still do now, which I thought was really interesting. But I have gone to Disneyland, been fortunate enough to go many times, especially when I was a child, which is good because I love it, even though I can't really remember it. Number 5 is if you could have any Disney characters as your best friends, who would they be? So I have a lot of choices here because there are a lot of people I want to be best friends. I don't know if these are in any particular order. The first one I can think of, Hercules. The second one, Quasimodo. Who else? Carl and Russell from Up, for sure. Esmeralda is really cool too. And I guess like animated one, I would probably say Mia from the Princess Diaries, and Marnie from Halloween Town. Yes, all of those as my best friends. That would be perfect. Number 6 is, who are your favorite Disney princesses? And I have one main one, followed by a quick second one, and then a third one. So I can't be decisive, I'm sorry. My favorite Disney princess though is Belle, followed closely by Rapunzel from Tangled. And the third one is Snow White. That is the one that I dressed up as Snow White when I was a kid for Halloween. But mainly the reason that I love Snow White is from Once Upon a Time. Number 7 is name a scene or a moment that never fails to make you cry for Disney films. And this is hard, not just because I'm indecisive, but because I always cry. Like, I am a huge crier when it comes to Disney movies. Even if it isn't a particularly sappy moment, I'm usually crying. So there are a lot of scenes that I thought of immediately when I saw this question. When Hercules sings Go the Distance, I cry. The end of Toy Story 3 for obvious reasons. The lantern scene in Tangled, because I have a lot of feelings about that movie. God Help the Outcasts, when Esmeralda sings that in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, cry. All Up, cry. Bolt, cry. Oh my gosh. And, okay, this one's a little bit embarrassing, but I'm just gonna, no shame. The end of High School Musical 3. That's all I'm gonna say. Number 8 is, what is the first Disney movie that you remember seeing? So this doesn't really count, but my mom, when she was pregnant with me, went and saw The Lion King in theaters 3 times. So I don't remember it, but it was not one of my favorite movies as a kid. Pretty sure that's because I got tired of it when I was still in the womb. But as for the 2 movies that I vaguely remember seeing first was probably Snow White or Sleeping Beauty, followed closely by Beauty and the Beast. But some of my favorite moments as it comes to when it comes to watching Disney movies was my childhood best friend Lexi and I watched Xenon together in 1st grade, and it was the best experience of my life. But the movie that I watched with my dad as far as Disney movies was The Jungle Book, and so whenever that comes on, I always think back to those memories, which is great. Okay. Last one, number 9. Favorite Disney movie. Okay, so this one wasn't very hard, but there are 3 that are equally important to me, and that is number 1, Beauty and the Beast. Second is Tangled, and the third one is Hercules. I have a very soft spot in my heart for Alan Menken. Alan Menken? Yeah, Alan Menken. And mainly for the scores and soundtracks that he does on the films, and I just have a lot of feelings. Those are what I listen to now, when I'm writing and stuff, because he also did The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Little Mermaid, Pocahontas, Aladdin, am I forgetting any? But his compositions are my favorite, so when I think about those movies, not only because they're amazing and I love those, but particularly because of their scores as well. Alright everyone, thank you for having the patience to get through those questions with me. Again, if you're interested in any of those questions, feel free to leave a video response down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about Disney movies. And Haley, for your question this week, since I was just speaking about movie compositions and my love for Menken, what movie compositions do you enjoy the most? And does that kind of sway what your favorite movies are? Because I know I hadn't listened to any of the compositions by themselves before I watched those movies, because I was little, but they bring back moments of the films that I absolutely adore and can kind of carry with me throughout the day, which is wonderful. So I would love to hear that response. I hope that you are having a great day and that you'll have a wonderful weekend. Viewers, you guys will see me next Thursday. And am I missing anything? I don't think so. I hope this didn't go too long. Yikes. Thank you for watching. Be sure, as I said before, to click the more info button down there and make sure that you are following Haylie and I on all of our social networks. Well, you don't have to, but you should, because we're kind of funny sometimes. I'm just gonna shamelessly plug that. Alright, I'm actually gonna go now, because I have homework to do. Okay, bye you guys.